October 25, 1944, the Philippine Sea, for the men of the U.S. Navy's Taffy 3 task force. It was supposed to be a routine patrol, guarding the carriers supporting the Leyte Gulf landings, a simple, uneventful escort mission. Among them was the USS Samuel B. Roberts, a Butler-class destroyer, Escort small, lightly armed, designed for anti-submarine duty. Her Captain LT Commander Robert Copeland was on the bridge, finishing his morning coffee. The quiet would not last. A radar warning, then a lookout's shout, object on the horizon. Sir, on that horizon, the mightiest surface fleet Japan could muster was bearing down on them, and at its heart, the colossal battleship Yamato, Taffy 3, was facing the Japanese center force. Battleships, heavy cruisers, a wall of steel and firepower. Their orders: retreat east, lay smoke, and launch every available plane. The American pilots attacked with desperate bravery, dropping bombs, even depth charges on warships. But they were a mosquito fleet against giants. As the planes withdrew to rearm, the small ships were left alone. A curtain of chemical smoke billowed from the destroyers, hiding the fleeing carriers. The first Japanese shells, massive 18-inch rounds from Yamato, began tearing up the sea, walking closer with every salvo. By a miracle of timing, the Americans reached a rain squall. The storm and smoke provided a fragile veil, but they couldn't hide forever. The order came: all destroyers, attack with torpedoes. The larger Fletcher-class destroyers charged out first in a suicidal run. Copeland and the Samuel B. Roberts waited, listening to the thunder. Knowing what was coming, Copeland addressed his crew over the loudspeaker. His words are legendary. This will be a fight against overwhelming odds from which survival cannot be expected. We will do what damage we can. With the battle descending into chaos, Copeland didn't wait. He ordered flank speed and turned his tiny destroyer Escort towards the enemy fleet specifically. The heavy cruiser Chikai shells fell like rain around them. A hit jammed their torpedo launcher. Undeterred, Copeland adjusted on the fly. At 4,000 yards, he yelled, "Fire!" 3 torpedoes sped toward the cruiser. 1 hit. The Chikai was wounded. Now, they had to escape. Copeland screamed for every ounce of speed. Engineering Officer Herbert Trowbridge bypassed all safeties. The boilers screamed in protest, pushing the ship to an impossible 28 knots. But escape was not the plan. Spotting another cruiser, the Chikuma, Copeland ordered his 5-inch guns to open fire. They were peace shooters against the cruiser's 8-inch cannons. But the American gunners were relentless. In turret number 2, gunner's mate Paul Henry Carr fired everything he had armor-piercing, high-explosive, even star shells, setting the Chikuma's deck ablaze and disabling one of its main turrets. For 45 minutes, this little ship brawled with the cruiser. Then, the battleships joined in. A lookout screamed, "Captain, 14-inch splashes behind us." They were bracketed by the battleship Congo. A hit was inevitable. An 8-inch salvo smashed into the Roberts, destroying the engine room and cutting power. Then, the killing blow: 14-inch shells tore a fatal hole below the waterline. Copeland gave the order: abandon ship. Yet, the gunners in turret number 2 kept firing. The gun was so hot it cooked off a round inside the barrel. When a crewmate found Paul Carr, mortally wounded, he was trying to load one last shell. The USS Samuel B. Roberts fought until she sank beneath the waves. The sacrifice was not in vain. The furious, point-blank defense by Taffy 3's tin cans and aircraft confused and blunted the Japanese advance. The center force withdrew. The Leyte landings were saved. The cost was horrific. The Roberts was gone, with 90 of her 210 men. Survivors, including Copeland, drifted for up to 50 hours before rescue. For their valor, Commander Robert Copeland received the Navy Cross. Paul Henry Carr and Herbert Trowbridge were posthumously awarded the Silver Star. The U.S. Navy would later name guided missile frigates in honor of Copeland and Carr, ensuring their last stand is never forgotten. The story of the USS Samuel B. Roberts is more than a battle. It's a testament to the human spirit in the face of impossible odds. It's about the courage to turn a ship not away from danger, but directly into it, knowing the cost, for the sake of the mission and the man beside you. What other incredible stories of courage should we dive into next? Let us know in the comments. If you found this story inspiring, please support the channel by hitting that like button, subscribing to the deep dive for more untold historical stories, and watching our other videos. Thanks for watching.